These two papers are really going to help you out in the process of creating your pumpkin. So this one goes through step-by-step directions, which I am also going to cover in this video as I draw my own. And this one shows you just how many different pumpkins there really could be. And you could create another type of pumpkin that you don't see on this page, but this is just a great example for you to help you get started. This sheet right here is an example of some of the pumpkins that Yayoi Kusama has created. Notice how they have different forms to them, different shapes to them, but the polka dots are something that you see throughout all of them, and of course the fact that they are all pumpkins. So, I have created my 3 sketches. If you will see on the details about the lesson plan, you will see that I am asking you to create at least 3 sketches of your pumpkins. This is because you need to explore the different shapes, how you want to use the polka dots. There's a lot that you need to look into and think about before you can actually move on to creating your final pumpkin. If you are a distance learner, you are required to send me at least 3 pumpkin sketches by Sunday at 5 p.m. So that is on the 18th. And then this final project is going to be due by October 25th, which is also a Sunday. So let's get started. For your final, you are going to get to choose whatever color you want to use, really. If you are a distance learner and do not have construction paper, you can still color your pumpkin completely. But if you do have colored paper, construction paper at home, or if you're a blended learner, you're gonna have that option of choosing your color that you want to use. I would definitely stick with the more warm kind of fall colors, but you don't have to. You know, if you want to use a blue or a green or something like that, you can. I am going to use this very, very bright yellow, just like Kusama. Now I need to decide which one I want to use. I think I'm gonna go with this one right here. I'm gonna change the stem of it because I don't really like that part, but I really love you know, the different things that I have going on here. I may also kind of come over and use some of the polka dots that I used here. I will kind of work that out as I go along and draw. You can see here that I created the implied line, which if you're wanting extra credit or wanting to do something cool, that's what you can add into your artwork. An implied line just means it's not actually physically there, but it creates this optical illusion, this idea of a line being there. It's pretty simple. This is how you would create it, and then you would just erase the line. So you have to make sure that you draw very lightly with your pencil. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. You are going to want to fill up most of this page. You want to make this pumpkin as big as you can, and we're going to cut it out later. So I'm going to focus here. You want to start in the middle, and remember, you want to go very light with your pencil because you may have to erase. Mine's going to be kind of bigger at the top and then get a little bit skinnier as it comes down. Then once you create your first shape, you're going to repeat that shape that you see and that you've created. And so you know it's okay if you have to erase lines, it's no big deal. That's why we draw lightly. And I'm actually going to come in and add another layer so that I can fill up more of my page. As you can see, I'm coming in here and maybe changing some of the shapes that I made to begin with. And it's okay if you have to overlap You know, when you're trying to learn how to overlap things and kind of create a sense of form in your artwork, or to make things look a little 3D, you know, it can be kind of hard to learn how to do that at first. So if you have to go through and erase things, that's totally okay. It's really, you know, as long as you draw very lightly, it's never going to be an issue having to go through and erase and redraw things. So now what we want to do is we also want to, you know, show the forms that are coming back behind it. So I'm going to kind of draw, this line. Same thing, you know, if you need to go through your stem, you can, and then you can always come over and erase it. And then that's when I can come over and, you know, add more of these lines to make it look a little bit more three-dimensional. Like that. And that is my pumpkin. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and draw my polka dots. I really like what I have going on here, where the pattern of the polka dots is kind of random. So I think I want to try and maybe incorporate this randomness of the pattern of polka dots, but also kind of maybe bring in these really tiny polka dots. So I am planning on using the implied line to show you how you can do it. So I'm going to draw my polka dots and probably go ahead and color those and do Sharpie with those. And then, you know, we'll erase our pencil marks after that. So to do the implied line, you have to have a line to begin with, but again, you can go through and erase it. So what you want to do is you want to put your polka dots along the edges. You can come in here and change the size of them. You know, maybe we can even come in here and put some little ones. Okay, so that is my first center polka dot shape of my pumpkin. So now I'm going to repeat those steps for all of my layers of the pumpkin. Okay, so this is my final sketch plan for my pumpkin. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my Sharpies. I am choosing to use black for my polka dots and for my lines, but if you would prefer to use a different color, you can. What I'm actually planning on doing is I'm going to make my stem black with yellow polka dots, and then my whole pumpkin is going to be yellow with black polka dots. So I am actually going to start there. So to do that, I'm going to outline. Okay, so now I've gone in and colored all of my pumpkin. So I'm gonna use my eraser and get rid of all of my lines. So there is your pumpkin. And I am gonna come in here with a thin tip Sharpie and kind of clean up some of these lines that I think should be, maybe a little bit different, a little bit more clear, a little bit more of that definitive line. Okay, so now that I have finished, I'm going to cut out. One thing to consider for this is if you are someone that struggles with using scissors, it might be in your best interest not to create these, very complicated swirls and hoops right here, because it might be very hard to get them cut out. There is my Yayoi Kusama Pumpkin. I come in with this black marker, cover this part up, make my final touches. And boom. Yayoi Kusama Pumpkin.